All right, we did a little bit of riding, guys. It's a little bit muddy out here and not perfect conditions, but it's a nice day now. What do you think? Portals versus
So far the portals make the steering a lot heavier. It's also a wider unit. This is 77 inches. My portal unit had 83 inches wide. I also had 35. So the steering was significantly more lazier than a 33-inch tire and a long travel, mid-travel kit. You're a little bit more narrow. I can tell you that the steering radius is significantly tighter on a mid-travel, long travel kit than the forward control arms. You had a back up, turn around, back up, turn around. It doesn't seem to be the case. Granted, we've only got a few miles on it. The ride quality is very comparable. It still floats over stuff. It still has all that same ride quality. This is a lot better. I could tell the difference in the technology over the really sharp, choppy stuff. The stuff that's about the size of your fist that you ride over. I can tell that absorbs those rocks better than before. I'm gonna kind of equate that to some of the newer technology that's wrapped up in the shocks, because they did make some pretty significant changes since the generation. Now, what generation did you send me? Do you remember?
You were Gen 1 technically. You were pretty early.
And where is this at now?
We're technically probably 4, but we never sold anything in between. We kind of just jumped.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But, and then, as I said, it's like as we drove these things more and more, we just tried to crank more and more performance out of them. And the whole goal is like an Expedition was kind of thought to be more like a Ranger, but there's no reason why you can't take a mid-travel kit, these shocks, you know what I mean? It's kind of equivalent to what a normal Razor is, and you can keep up with your buddies right now. That was our goal. And like with Gen 1, it was almost there, but not quite there. Right now, no worries. Like, I think you can keep up with any Razor, any group, and have fun, but have your air conditioner on.
We've been flying through some of the nasty stuff, nasty G-outs, sharp turns off camber at speed, 35, 40 miles an hour, and it just floats like butter. The SDIs, they're electric shocks. They're tied into the computer system to read the way that you've programmed it. Dan took the time to set some basic parameters, and so far it's very responsive. The ride quality is substantial. We do have Chris with HCR here today. He has a HCR mid-travel. He has the first gen SDI shocks. The difference between those two is night and day. Their responsiveness, their ride quality, and everything in the middle. It's amazing what a year maybe?
Yeah.
You've had it,
what we're really able to do is like topping out feeling, bottoming feeling, get more control, and then just tune the shocks to react better to what terrain it was, you know what I mean? Just more with the algorithm. So you can kind of push it to that whole next level.
It reacts faster.
Not faster, it's just we fine tune the algorithm and like the baseline settings. So, there's so many things that go into it, it kind of gets complicated. But the more we learned about the vehicle and the weight, we just think of it this way, is like we have the clicker in the right spot more often. And it just comes with time and tuning, right?
Sure.
And the nice thing though about electronics is like instead of ripping shocks off, opening them up, revalving, we have a laptop, type in what we need, 5 minutes later we're back out. So the progression goes really, really quick.
One of the best features that I've noticed since my Gen 1 versus Gen 4 is they've added 3 buttons. There's 2 buttons that are a 3-position rocker switch, soft, medium, hard, right? Or no, it's
actually
soft and hard.
In the middle is baseline setting, and when you click them, it's just a faster way to change it. We call it a racer switch. For guys that are actually racing, that's why it was developed, because to go to the touchscreen when you're bouncing around is difficult.
Sure.
So this is like your on-the-fly switch, and it's basically 25% stiffer or softer from whatever that baseline is. And the easiest way we describe it is like you're in Havasu, you get like the razor bumps and like the small sand washes where it's really rough. You can just click both front and rear independently, stiffer or softer. In those cases, you usually want to go softer just so it's a little bit more freed up on those choppy ones. It makes it easy.
Got
The
it.
last, what did you think about the HS button on the steering wheel? Because you never had that.
So that's another pretty big upgrade. The holy crap button is the same as the Pro R, where when you hit the button, it makes all 4 shocks stiffen up for 3 seconds. And this is phenomenal. If you've ever caught yourself jamming through the desert and then all of a sudden you see either a major G out or a big dip, a sudden transitional change in the ground, you hit that button and for 3 seconds, man, that sucker's not going anywhere. And it's just gonna ride right through. I probably could have used that a few times if I would have had that on the first set. So fortunately, Dan created this setup. Now there's a red button on the steering wheel that for 3 seconds, you hit that holy crap button, boom, stiffens every shock up, makes you ride out of a nasty situation that you put yourself into because you're riding too fast, because your suspension is so smooth with the whole setup that now instead of driving 25 to 30, you're doing 45 to 50 miles an hour over the same terrain because now you feel more confident. Well, sometimes confidence will get you in trouble. So having that button is a blessing 100%.
What's funny too is like on a lot of our cars we never ran the button, but on the Expedition it seems more because we're geared for comfort on these. It's a nice trail machine, and the algorithm goes and knows the trainer's trying to set it up, but it's for those unexpected things. Like you could be going down the nicest trail, but all of a sudden there's a rain wash that went through, so it's a big sharp bump. It's for those things that there's no way to tell, but you see it and you're like, oh man, here we go. And it's just like a nice option. Or even like at Glamis, where you just get into a really bad G out or something where it would be hard for the vehicle to tell that that's coming up, like a witch's eye, for example. You know what I mean? It's hard to predict an event like that.
Yep.
So it's for those events that the computer just can't predict.
Gotcha. Very cool. Well, I appreciate it, and like I
This
said,
was awesome. Thanks for
you
coming
guys
out.
have done a great job.
Thank you for your channel. We learned lots from it. I've joined, I think, probably around 2,000 followers. It's been a long time, and seeing it grow and just the involvement, like really cool. Like the community's awesome.
And that's why it's important for you guys to chip in when you see these videos, when you see the post, to chip in, because you literally have the owner of the manufacturing company part of our group. So when you guys chip in, we've got reps from HCR, we've got reps from Polaris, all kinds of different manufacturers follow the page, and when you make a comment or something, they listen. Landon at DRT, he's actually built a lot of stuff because of the page. And so submit your questions, reach out. If they don't reach out, then I'll reach out. Make sure to ask a lot of questions. It'll only make your suspension better, your mid-travel, long travel better, and that's what the whole page is about. So I hope you have a great weekend. God bless, and go get 'em.